Hey guys, so today is gonna be self-improvement day 87, I think. Um, so first of all, I want to respond to Amrinder's comment and talk about. Last we talked about how half-assing your daily chores can be harmful. You will sort of like have a habit of half-assing things, and yeah, and then Armrinder said it's hard to talk about these in public. Big respect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Um, I think right now I definitely I feel I feel it's kind of normal to like share because like this is like a channel for me, or I created this just so I can share this kind of thing. So I don't really think it's hard to do it. Maybe I'm like used to it now. So today I kind of want to talk about like I I sort of like had like a realization of like I'm kind of a bit close-minded in terms of like because I had like a bad relationship with my brother, with my dad, with my father. I sort of like didn't talk with to them, or I kind of talk to them once in a while, but I never like share how I'm doing, or I never share about like my thoughts on my career. Um, so because I was sort of like I know what they're gonna respond. I know they're gonna like criticize me for choosing the path that I'm choosing right now. So yeah, so I just like feel like okay, I'm just not gonna bother telling them. But I think if you're like self-confident enough that like their opinion doesn't really affect me, like they can think of me as a loser. But if I don't think, because like the reason why they think I'm a loser is because they have a different curriculum. They have a different pointing system to 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 sort of like define me as a loser, and I sort of like use a different system. So like it's a different opinion at the end of the day. So yeah, it doesn't really bother me. So I think I gave a call to my brother today. I haven't really shared about my life or talk kind of like deeply with him for like I think maybe like a couple years now, and I think I did it today, and I think it was good. Obviously, when I told him about like my path, he was still very like not happy with it, and he was like suspecting it. He was like trying to give me advice, which is like normal. And then I think it didn't affect me as much because I'm confident in like what I'm choosing. I'm confident in my path, and I'm like taking full responsibility. And I think aside from that, we had like a pretty good talk. We talk about how he's doing, and we had like some casual talks. Wasn't the best, but I'm glad I had this talk, and yeah, so I'm so glad that I did it, and I think being close-minded and being just like sometimes when you feel like things has to be certain way and you don't give it a try, um you sort of like you just like it's like assuming, right? When you assume something, you kind of like close that window. And because like today I was willing to give that a try, like it didn't turn out as bad as I assumed it was. That's why I never call my brother. I never like really like talk to him or share things with him for like 2 years. And now that I did, I'm glad I did. So I would have never did this if I was just close-minded and never like really give this a try. And yeah, I also like sometimes when I have like things I kind of want to do, and then I kind of like overthink it, and I kind of like talk myself out of it. But I think that's just like assumptions, or like just like the cowardness in myself sort of like preventing me from doing it. For example, like I texted my ex-girlfriend because I'm like kind of like worried about her mental state, and I was like assuming that like she wasn't like she's like lying to me, or there's like many things going on, and I always like talk myself to like not text her, but I texted her today, and I mean, we didn't talk very much, and I don't know how the conversation is gonna go, but I'm so glad that I did. And I think the conversation, I don't know where it's gonna go, but it will probably not gonna go the same way that I expected it to be. It will probably won't go the same way that I assume it to be. So I'm glad that I did it. And I think what triggered me to like do these like more open-minded thing is like I watched a show, and it was an episode about like death, like a really important character died, and it kind of like hit me, kind of like, man, like imagine I'm like dead tomorrow. Like, would I leave the world with regret? So then I think of like what are the things that I I kind of like wanted to try, but I always like kind of talk myself out of it. And texting my ex-girlfriend, texting my brother was on the list. And yeah, so I think sometimes you gotta do it. Like you can't, like your brain is gonna like sometimes overthink stuff, and it's gonna like logic your way out of it. And that doesn't necessarily is it doesn't mean it's good, right? So I'm so glad that I kind of like did that. I kind of, yeah, I just went ahead and did it. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I watched that episode, and I think that kind of like opened my eyes up. So I think, I mean, I don't like giving advice, but I think it will be worthwhile to think about that. Like, what if tomorrow is ending? So like, would you be satisfied? Would you be, are you be, would you, can you accept that? Or is that something you want to do? And why not just do it? So I guess that's what I leave you guys off with. And yeah, I'll probably see you tomorrow. Peace, peace.